Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. ETH, ETF, and Coinbase. We're going to talk about it. We got BTC Market Visual. You're going to love it. And we got Brad Chase from Ripple, head of liquidity products, automated market makers. The vote is back. Pessimism on XRP and XRP Chart and what's possible. And it's time for humanity to wake up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it's $2.71 trillion market cap. The market is up 2.2%, and I don't mind telling you, we're pretty close to $3 trillion market cap. We were slightly over before the SEC came in and squashed it to less than $1 trillion. Remember, Bitcoin right now, 68,500, 3,900 for Ethereum right now, 101.7 billion plus for Tether market cap. XRP 62 cents, up 6.1 on the 7-day. Let's look at the range of price very quickly. Between 0.6069 on the bottom, 0.6392 on the top. That's where we're at today with the range. We'll keep an eye on it. And I want to let you know the tickets are selling fast. 55 days and counting, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you, this is a real remarkable opportunity. And I'm going to let you know right now that Fruition Productions, that's right, XRP Unleashed documentary creators, Fruition Productions, Christopher and his wife, are going to be on stage at XRP Las Vegas for an exclusive sneak peek of this documentary. And it is explosive, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't mind telling you, you will also have the opportunity to be a part of this documentary. If you get a ticket and come to XRP Las Vegas, you have an opportunity to end up in this film. Tell your story. It could be selected for the documentary. It is the final 2 days of filming, and you have this opportunity. The window is closing. So many great things about this conference, and I want you to get a ticket before it's gone. The tickets are amazing. General admission tickets right now, 2-day ticket. If you average a 2-day ticket, it's cheaper than the ticket from last year because it was a 1-day ticket last year. This is a 2-day ticket, and it is nonstop packed with incredible, incredible people like Pierces, David Schwartz, and Ripple, and Uphold, and iTrust, and you name it, the Chamber of Digital Commerce, Christian Carlo, the co-founder of Digital Dollar Project. I could go on. I'm not going to, but look, and then there's a merch store, links underneath. It's open. Order your stuff so you can sport your XRP Las Vegas gear before you even get there, ladies and gentlemen. And this merch looks incredible right here. The store is open. Your deadline to get it is April 3rd. Make sure you make your orders today so you can get your merch. That's what we're talking about. Now, millions of XRP suddenly exit major exchange. This is from Binance here, and it's, as we know, it's to an unknown wallet. So what's going on? We don't really know, but it's nice to be aware that there's massive amounts of XRP moving around, and we will try to find out what we can about that, obviously. Now, this right here, Chad Steingraber has been on fire. SEC just met with Coinbase regarding the upcoming ETF, Ethereum ETF, I should say, from Grayscale, May 23rd. Its approval or another court case. Well, and this is rightful questioning right here by Chad that he puts forward, because we know that Prometheum, who is the poster child of the SEC, has been given a coveted license, broker-dealer's license, and we know it is backed by Wanzhang China. It is baffling to me that the SEC and Gary Gensler would even think of awarding them a license, but Prometheum has stepped out and said that they will list Ethereum as a security. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Because now we have to wonder what is going to come of these deadlines for these ETH spot ETFs. What are we going to see here? And what is going to happen, as Rostin Benham, the head of the CFTC, mentioned just a day or two ago, about the fact that if it is listed as a security and it stays that way and it's acknowledged by the SEC, then you're going to have to deal with the fact that there's ETH futures that will have to be unwound because the people offering them would be found to be out of compliance. Then you have to worry about every single project on top of Ethereum itself. And wouldn't that cause a mass exodus of that network because of that legal issue? You know, we went through something like that just about 3 years ago. Now, if that happens to go down that way, wouldn't it be just a marvel that we know that Persist has built a bridge from the Ethereum virtual machine to the XRP ledger? And if that goes down that way, boy, I tell you, Persist is really not just a bridge, but a life raft at that point. Here's a quick clip from Good Morning Crypto. I tell you, these guys are absolutely wonderful. These guys are class acts, top-notch people. I love having the opportunity to sit down with them. They're super smart. I really do enjoy them. They're such a great crew. And I mean, everybody over there on that team is just head to toe. They're just great people. And I want to play this quick clip for you. Think about the level of utility and demand for the anticipated utility that will be making its way into this space. And this is the moment that I've been waiting for here as a macro investor. So for me, I agree. XRP, when it moves, it's very explosive and it's massive when it does that. I'm here for it. And I'm really here for once we get beyond this vagueness of clarity in the United States and there is a global cooperation about understanding how to deal with regulatory clarity for crypto assets broadly. To me, that's the moment, because none of this for XRP, people get frustrated. We talked about this offline, the three. And we did talk about it offline. I don't want to finish that thought because I know it goes away there. But, we talked about the fact that, it's like, in order to see the utility, explosive utility for XRP take off and liquidity to make its way to the network, how are you going to move all this stuff around? Tokenization's got to happen. Now, we know the BIS classifies Cat 1 category of stable coins and the tokenization of traditional assets. So stablecoin legislation here in the United States may not only pertain to stable coins, but it may also pertain to tokenization of traditional market products like stocks and bonds. And if that's the case, or when that happens, however it looks and happens in the shape of legislation, this is the moment we're still waiting for, because this is a protocol, this is a digital asset that is designed to use inside the system. And it's not going to get complete use inside the system until they get legislative clarity for it. That's obvious at this point to me. And this is a great on-chain visualization of BlackRock consuming the Bitcoin market. Look at it. Just look at it. Look at all the little BlackRock circles here. Look at all of it. Yeah. Again, you add in the understanding of what an XRP spot ETF could do, right? Especially understanding that we have that legislative clarity. We crossed that bridge and there's no more, can they use it? Is it still a thing? When this is no more a thing, I think the ETF for XRP could possibly take off and outpace XRP because of the utility side of it as well. Think of that. Then it's a race to gobble the asset up, because you're going to have people that want to make markets every day, market makers for payments that will need it. And then the struggle for the people that are buying it for their fund, for their spot ETF fund. So the demand comes from both sides at that point, and that'll be fun to watch once that happens. I do believe we'll see it. This is Brad Chase, head of liquidity products at Ripple. Let's hear what he's got to say about Ripple's Liquidity Hub, creates an interoperability layer. And you know what? We're going to hear more about this, I would imagine, from the CEO, Simon McLaughlin, from Uphold, and their recent partnership with Ripple, and how they intend to white label their service for the banks.
One way to use those things well and kind of enable the inherent value is interoperability between these assets. So at Ripple, this is why we have a product like Liquidity Hub, where you need a way to be able to exchange an asset from one type to another. When you have that interoperability layer, value can start moving, flowing freely. And it's the same way that you saw this Cambrian explosion of the internet, enabling new types of business, new types of capabilities. We'll see the same thing here.
I think that's so spot on. Let me stop this. I think that's so spot on. And I know Chris Larson has said the same thing. And I find it to be so spot on because, I feel like we're in the early 2000s now. For a few years, we felt like we were stuck in 1995 to 1998 internet world, right? Where you're still doing the dial-up. But we're still, in some respects, in that era, right? Because in the early days of the internet, you had to use dial-up, right? We didn't even get to the place of broadband. You had to dial a number up. You couldn't take a phone call. A phone call coming in would bump you offline. I mean, it was a mess. But where are we at in that regard? See, I knew how to get on the internet then. How do I get on the blockchain, right? How do I get on the blockchain just like the internet? And that moment is coming very quickly for the consumer side, but it isn't here for the consumer side yet. What we do know is, though, in great degree from our research over the years, is that connection has been made in large part of infrastructure and building and designing for the back-end wholesale markets. And that's what gets so exciting about getting legislative clarity. Because that's the quickest way to close the loop on the last mile and the rest of it, is to do it on the wholesale back end. And then once that happens, just like the military and the governments use the internet first, that was the wholesale market infrastructure being built on the back end first. And then the consumers got into computers and then started going online. It's in reverse this time. So that's why it's so important to have a government adopt a set of protocols, which I think in the near term is going to happen. Now let's take a look at this very quickly here. As the automated market maker for XRP Ledger gained another vote, sitting at 27 yes votes, getting us to 78%. Shout out to Vet XO for that. I'm super excited about the automated market maker fix. Let's keep an eye on it. We're very close to hitting that 80% mark, about one vote away it looks like, and let's see what happens. And meanwhile, we are witnessing an overwhelming wave of pessimism in the XRP community with cries of XRP is dead, says Mr. Huber, and I agree with him. We are. We see a lot of that. Yet, history shows that fortunes can quickly shift with just one positive development, such as a settlement or an ETF. Suddenly, those who are complaining now will be the ones lamenting how they didn't sell at today's prices before the good news came out. And, it is like this. And if you haven't been in the crypto space for very long, this is how it happens, especially for XRP, because XRP sits so flat for so long and then explodes and then goes back and retraces to that base again. So let's take a look at this chart, because I like this chart here. This is JT, J there to help one. We like that, JT. Here to help one. JT, here to help one. So I've read that wrong. Sorry about that. But XRP monthly, XRP always moves last. Absolutely. That's been history there. XRP has the exact same structure as at prior accumulation phase. And I like what he says here as a perspective here. If XRP can pull a 40,000% move on its last cycle pump, why can't it do a 1/10 of that this cycle? And you know what? If we look at 62 cents, and he's absolutely right, and that was 2017 to 2018, we saw a 40,000+% pump. And if we look here where we are, the setup looks very similar where we are, very close to finding out which way we're going to go, and when we do go, how far it'll go, up or down. But when we get there, think about this. If I just take that 40,000 and take 1/10 of that, so 4,000% pump, that's a $24.60 XRP at current price today. That's where it puts us. Is that so hard to believe? I mean, we've seen history happen before, right? So it is pretty remarkable to think of like just a 1/10 of what it did before were to happen. But the funny part to that is we're closer now to getting utility onto the network and liquidity and demand from institutions. So sky's the limit for me at trying to understand exactly what kind of pump we would get if we get one at all. And I do believe we will get one, but it's not financial advice. All right, we're going into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, today in the Freedom Zone, you're going to want to be in there with us, because we are getting into it today. Everything you need to know about a cashless society right here at digitalperspectives.com. Click on the Freedom Zone and come on in. All